Sawadee Khap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's January 18th. Welcome to Phuket XTRA, brought to you by... Could gambling finally become legal in Thailand? Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha says it's a discussion worth having after recent COVID outbreaks in the kingdom were traced back to illegal gambling dens in the country. And even he admits it's a problem that is difficult to prevent people from gambling. Over the last 4 weeks, COVID outbreaks have taken place in Samut Sakhon, Rayong, Chonburi, Bangkok, and Chantaburi, among other areas. While cases in Samut Sakhon were by far the largest and they were traced back to a seafood market there, the other outbreaks saw many of them linked to illegal gambling dens. These are venues hidden from public eye, organized by local gamblers in their areas, and sometimes they change from venues to venues, and sometimes the venue is in one place, and it's an open secret. Over the past month, the police chief of Rayong, Chonburi, and Chantaburi were each transferred pending investigations into how their police force allowed those venues to operate, the results of which are expected this week, according to the Royal Thai Police. More gambling dens were also found in Nonthaburi and Tra provinces, as well as the north. On Friday, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha spoke with the Center for COVID-19 Situation in Bangkok, the CCSA, and reports say he is willing to discuss the possibility of legalizing gambling in Thailand. According to the Bangkok Post, the Premier said the key question was whether legalized gambling would be considered morally correct by most Thais, since not everyone considered gambling acceptable. A 10-member committee has now been formed to inspect state law enforcement in cases of illegal gambling. At the moment, gambling is illegal in Thailand with few exceptions. Still, as the COVID pandemic continues, some have suggested that legalizing gambling could be a better, more practical approach in helping prevent the spread of the infection. But the anti-gambling group Stop Gambling Foundation, they say that legal gambling would only exacerbate crime and family problems in the kingdom, saying legal casinos would need rigorous standards and constant supervision. Another critic from Chulalongkorn University's Institute of Asian Studies, Nualnoy Trirat, says that Royal Thai Police are the ones in need of reform to ensure strict law enforcement if anything is to happen on the gambling front. Here in Phuket, just last June, 87 people were arrested in raids at 2 illegal gambling dens, one in Sisutorn and one in Phuket town. No police were involved in those raids, as it was carried out by provincial officials. A subsequent investigation into how the cops allowed those gambling dens to operate, well, it found that the police were not involved and were cleared of negligence. What do you think of the Prime Minister's comments on discussing whether gambling should be made legal? Let us know in the comments below. Police are on the hunt for 2 people suspected of throwing ping pong bombs during an anti-government protest on Saturday in Bangkok outside a shopping mall there, in which 4 people suffered minor injuries. Protests started at Victory Monument and another outside at Chamchuri Square on Rama 4 Road, which is where there was a small explosion in Bangkok. Police right now say it was similar to the one used at a previous rally at Ratchathiotin intersection. They told the Bangkok Post that this type of bomb is commonly used during fights between rival vocational college students. Earlier in the day on Saturday, a protest by a group calling themselves the Free Guards took place at Victory Monument on Saturday, in which people were encouraged to write on anti-government messages on banners. Police, along with a crowd control team, encircled the area, and later a scuffle ensued, although police arrested some of the protesters and seized the banners. About a dozen people were reportedly arrested and taken to Phaya Thai police station, where the protesters had then gone, demanding the release of those being held. They soon dispersed and once again assembled outside a mall in the Pathumwan area later at about 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. When they left around 5 p.m., that's when the explosion was heard and 4 people sustained minor injuries. A separate protest took place on Saturday in front of the Education Ministry on Ratchadamnern Avenue. Saturday was Teachers' Day, and protesters from the Bad Student Group marked the day by presenting teachers with, quote, gifts, which included canes, scissors, rulers, all kinds of stationery, and red paint was splattered everywhere, signifying how they feel they're treated in the Thai educational system. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. February 8th will be the first day for people to register their candidacy for the upcoming local municipal elections throughout Phuket. During the registration week from February 8th to the 12th, Candidates will be able to register to contest seats on local councils of the 12 municipalities in Phuket or for the position of mayor where available. The news follows the Election Commission of Thailand main office in Bangkok confirming that local municipal elections will take place in March, and elections here in Phuket will take place on March 28th for Paklok, Chungtalay, Sri Sutorn, Tepkasatri, Patong, Katu, Karon, Rawai, Chalong, Rasada, Wichit, and Phuket Town. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Phuket Extra will be right back after this. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. The Phuket Employment Office is urging all employers to register all their legal and illegal migrant workers through an online platform amid the recent COVID-19 resolutions by the cabinet in Bangkok. Today is the first Monday that all employers are able to register their migrant workers and can do so until February 13th, with Phuket Employment Office Chief Santi Nantasuwan saying that it allows all migrant workers to stay in Thailand for 2 years until February 16th, 2023. Migrant workers with kids under 18 must also register their children through the website eworkpermit.doe.go.th. A link is in the description. After the online registration is completed, health officials will conduct physical checkups and COVID-19 tests. The cost of the tests and the required 2-year health insurance, totaling 7,200 baht per worker, must be met by the workers or their employers, 7,200 baht. The whole thing is part of the government's COVID prevention measures after a slew of migrant workers were found infected in the recent massive outbreak in Samut Sakhon province, with some entering Thailand illegally through its porous borders as well. Mr. Santi urged all employers to take the opportunity to register all their workers from now until February 13th during the amnesty that lasts for the next 2 years. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. Almost 1,000 new cases over the weekend for Thailand, including 369 confirmed today by officials, raising the total since the start of the pandemic to 12,423 for the nation. 74% of total patients have recovered. The death toll is now 70. Thank you for watching Phuket Extra today, brought to you by the lyrics below. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.